Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. It is your fave, Tarot Mother. And today I wanted to do this pick a card in correlation with the amazing and gorgeous and beautiful celestial event that is happening on August 8th, 8/8, which is the Lionsgate portal. And if you want to know a little bit more about that, I will have a whole little moment right after I drop some disclaimers. And if you also want to just, go towards your pick a card, your message, you are welcome to do so. But if you want to stay right here, let's go ahead and get into it. So first things first, as far as disclaimers, this is a general reading, so not every single message that comes up is going to be for you, because I am picking up on a lot of different individuals' energies, okay? So if it's not hitting, it's not hitting, and that's okay. But I do have a lot of faith that you're going to be able to find the message that is meant for you in either of these piles, 1, 2, or 3. And then we also do have crystals for you to select from. So we have obsidian, tiger's eye, and lapis lazuli or lazuli. I've heard it pronounced a few different ways, but also, tarot is not meant to predict the future. It only clarifies what you already know, because it's picking up on things that could be trapped or not easily translated within your subconscious, like certain messages and things like that. And also, very specific messages from your guides and ancestors as well. So you already know this information, but you might have forgotten, and that's okay. That's what I'm here for. And also, I'm not taking any personal readings right now, so keep that in mind. I will definitely let you know when that's about to change, but until then, here we are. So again, we have pile 1, 2, and 3. So you are welcome to go to your pile. The timestamps are down below, but if you want to stay put, we're going to speak on the actual celestial event, on what this is based off of excuse me, what this pick a card is based off of, the Lionsgate portal. So stay tuned. All right, you guys, so the Lionsgate portal is a couple different things. So we have our sun, and then we have the Sirius star, which is very close to Orion's belt, the constellation. And so I'm kind of going to be jumping around as far as like the facts and everything, but I'm going to tie everything together at the end. So, and if you listened to my live earlier today, you already know what's up. So essentially the pyramids of Giza, along with other pyramids around the world, line up with Orion's belt, because it's 3 different stars, just like the pyramids of Giza are 3 different stars, and they all represent different things. But the during this time where the pyramids line up with with Giza, wait, I said that backwards. Around this time where the stars, Orion's belt, lines up with Giza, the Sirius star is also at a very interesting alignment with our own sun. And so this is going to be called harmonic resonance. And so what that means is our sun is going to be picking up the energy off of the Sirius sun, because it's much larger than our own. Even though it's like 8.6 million light years away, we're still picking up on that energy. So essentially, our sun represents like the physical world, like the illusion. Sirius represents our soul, our spirituality, our inner self, very mother-like energy. Sirius has very strong connections with Mother Aset, and we're going to be reading messages about her, or reading specific messages from her, depending on which pile you picked. So a couple of things to keep in mind, to explain harmonic resonance, Say for instance, you are at like a concert or something like that, and someone on one end of the room is playing the violin, and on the other end of the room there is a baby grand piano. So because of the vibrations that are coming off of this violin, the strings in the piano are going to be picking up those frequencies. So it's like the Sirius sun is going to be giving off this energy, and our sun is going to be amplified or resonating to the same energy that Sirius is. Hopefully that makes sense, but it's like we're going to be picking up this same energy, especially considering that Sirius is so much larger than our own sun. 2 times larger to be exact, which is pretty crazy. And it's also interesting that the Dogon tribe in Africa, they knew about this star system, what it was about. They even knew like the mass. They knew that it was much larger and heavier than our own star. And this was 60 years plus before the Dogon tribe was ever discovered. And so they knew more about this Sirius star than we did at the time. They knew more about astrology than we did at the time. And so the thing is, there have been individuals, because they have always talked about these beings coming down to Earth and introducing them to different knowledge and things like that. And it's also kind of upsetting because when colonization really took a hold, they started to view these tribes as primitive, but in actuality, they knew far more than what the colonizers knew, and it is what it is. So I think that's something to keep in mind. Another thing about this time of year in ancient Egypt, or ancient Kemet really, they would celebrate this time because the Nile will swell, it would kind of start to flood, and that would create a lot of fertile soil around the Nile. And because, the sun was picking up on Sirius's energy, and it just created, it just amplified everything that was kind of happening on Earth at the time. So they really honored this time and viewed it as a moment of prosperity and fertility, as like a gift from the gods, essentially. So I think that's an actual, it's so beautiful. And also a couple things that I would like you to do during this time is to meditate, definitely reach out to your guides. You can just be specific, just be like, I only want to, or I would love to connect further with my guides that are for my highest good, that are going to bring forth unconditional love, light energy, that's that kind of thing. So that's something that you can keep in mind when you're wanting to connect with your guides. Another fun fact is the Leo constellation lines up with the Sphinx, and the lion is so representative of royalty, family, and just strength. So it's just like all of these things kind of connected, which it's so beautiful. It truly is. And I did mention that Mother Aset is believed to be from the star Sirius, or from that constellation, or from that particular area of the galaxy, because it is believed that she was human at first, but then she elevated to a being that was much higher than what we could perceive right now. It's hard to kind of explain like who she is, and she's so many things, but the bottom line is she's a very nurturing mother, and she's going to do whatever she can to protect her children and to teach us what we need to do in order to evolve and to reach this level of enlightenment. So a couple things that you can do during this time is I strongly suggest meditating, getting some sun, doing something creative, because Leo energy is all about creativity and childlike energy, and being in the spotlight, so if you are in social media and things like that, definitely put yourself out there, put your work out there, do whatever needs to be done, because this is just it's such a beautiful time. It's such a beautiful time, and you're probably also receiving a lot of psychic downloads from your guides as well, either random thoughts that pop up, or it could even be in your dreams as well. Visions, certain synchronicities, like if you're seeing 11 on the clock, 555, 13, 13 is also correlated with Mother Asset as well. And yeah, so it's just a lot to it. And if you want to know more, I will definitely be having like a blog post or something to kind of, I'm still working on my website, so we're gonna get there. I promise you. You're gonna get this information one way or another. So I want to make sure that you all have fun, you also enjoy yourself, and the messages, I really hope they resonate with you and help you on your journey, because we are at this place where, because this happened last year, and when I found out about it, this was when we were on lockdown in 2020, and I learned so much about myself and so much about the world, outside of what we have been indoctrinated into. And it's just, it's been a beautiful experience. I can't even lie. A lot of it has been difficult because your guides are really asking you to reevaluate mindsets, the way you've been, and your guides just want you to evolve in the best way possible, because you deserve. And we can't go back to the way that things used to be, because it was dysfunctional. It wasn't for our highest good. It wasn't for the world's highest good. And Mother Aset really wants us to honor ourselves by celebrating self-love in our authenticity, but also protecting Mother Earth, because she needs us more now than ever. Because there's been individuals in place that have used us to get what they want, especially when you think about oil and things like that. Like when we get into the conversations about free energy, and when you think about extraterrestrials and UFOs, they're not pulling up at the local QT to fill up their tank. That's not, they don't even use their energy that they use to fuel these machines is kind of beyond our comprehension at this moment. We're still learning, we're still trying, and again, there's a lot of people who already cracked the code, but because there's such a tight grip on fossil fuels, it's a little difficult for us to kind of access these tools. So what your guides really want you to do is put your foot down and do whatever is necessary to gain access to this information, because we need it. There's no need for us to be still using gasoline. There's no need for us to keep There's no need for us to continue to be using gasoline and things of that nature, because the technology is out there for us. And when you think about the military and how the technology that they have access to is 50 to 100 years advanced, it's so far advanced than what we have. And then it's like, when you think about, because there have been and there are extraterrestrials who have given us this knowledge, but there's such a tight lock on who has access to it, and that's why we're kind of stuck in this place where we feel like we haven't really evolved. Like, just because Apple releases just because Apple releases a new phone every year doesn't mean that we're evolved and we're so high tech and we should look down upon others as if, what the fuck is wrong with you? Because it's like, we didn't even have half the stuff that we should have right now, because we literally should be living our Star Wars fantasy. I say this all the time, but I'm being serious. This is how far advanced we should be at this time. But anyway, that's essentially the importance of this beautiful alignment. And when you get further into the messages, you'll see how your guides want you to evolve, things that your guides want you to keep in mind during this entire process. And bottom line is, be patient with yourself, because it takes time to purge all of these different mindsets and ideas and limitations that have been placed on us at such a young age, because we've been indoctrinated into these mindsets since birth, and it's been passed down for generation after generation, because generation after generation, people have not been asking questions, people have not been wanting to know more, people have not been wanting to improve. They've simply complied and consented to this mistreatment, to this dysfunction, this chaos. But the fact that you are on this reading now shows that this alignment is putting in that work. People are starting to awaken. People are starting to understand their true power and what they need to do in this world. It is literally as simple as being ourselves. Because if you think about nature, nature is beautiful. Nature is abundant. It's amazing. And all trees have to do is exist. All they have to do is be themselves. All they have to do is grow and evolve. That's what we have to keep in mind. We don't have to be working these jobs that don't respect us. We don't have to work for these individuals that don't even care about our safety, about our health, about even our mental health. So now is the time for you to start that process and figure out what do you need to do for you. Because this can't continue. And I'd be damned if I reincarnate back into this bullshit. So I'm going to do whatever I can this lifetime to just follow my purpose. And I just pray that we all take the time to evolve so that we can grow as a collective. And I ain't going to leave none of you behind. Unless you want to be left behind, then I'm going to let you figure it out on your own. But I'll be there to help when you're ready. All right, so good luck. And I'm so grateful that you're here today, because this means that you are trying to evolve, you are trying to grow, and you are ready to get out of this matrix. And I'm wishing you all the best. And if you ever have any questions, please come to me. And if I don't have the answers, I'm going to figure it out, or I'm going to direct you to somebody who can answer those questions much better than I can. I'm not going to leave you hanging like some of these other bitches out here have done. So good luck, and go to your piles, and don't forget to comment down below, subscribe, hit that post notification bell, because I don't be on here on social media like that, because I feel like it could be a little draining at times. But when I post, I want you to know. But yeah, and also comment what messages hit, what didn't, how you feel, what's going on in your life, and why you decided to kind of make this change. Why are you deciding now? What made you decide to kind of analyze life from a different perspective? Because you've probably always felt like shit was weird. And it's like that spiritual sun, Sirius, is shining its light on all these different elements that don't need to exist anymore. And these individuals who have been in power for so long, they're falling. And they're doing whatever they can to stay on top, but it's not working. Mother Set was like, y'all been fucking with my babies for way too fucking long. Alright, that's enough of that. So good luck, you guys. Have fun. Enjoy the rest of your day. And I hope you enjoy your pile and your messages as well. So, mwah. See you at your pile, okay? Hello, pile number 1. So what we're going to do today is we're going to be shuffling your tarot cards to get some messages, and then I also have some oracle cards for you as well that we'll read afterwards. So let's see what your guides have to say concerning this Lionsgate portal. What do you have for pile number 1? Okay. Alright, so let's see. So I definitely read more so intuitively, and yes, I do know the traditional meanings of a lot of the cards, and I'm still learning because there's a lot of symbolism in tarot. Very similar to the Bible. Like, there's so much symbolism. So, and the images kind of help me to interpret what I'm feeling. So the first card that we have is the 9 of Swords. I love this deck so much. And that did come out in reverse. So for me, upright, traditionally, the 9 of Swords represents someone who has trouble sleeping. Their thoughts are just creating so much anxiety, and they're just becoming so overwhelmed with their thoughts. And you can see like this woman in the photo is crying. She has like tears running down her face. What I'm feeling with this card is there is a certain person or a certain aspect of yourself that you need to release, that you need to let go of. Because there's certain elements of the way you used to be that don't serve you anymore. Oh. Okay, and then also what I'm feeling from this card, that like the person crying kind of represents who you were before, and this newer version of you is going to be released very soon. Because you've probably felt really stagnant and very alone, very confused, very numb, just very frustrated with how things were going. And you feel so overwhelmed by what's happening out in the world. And it is very chaotic, outside of what could be happening in your home life. And you're ready for this new stage in life. But since this card is in reverse, I feel like you're slowly but surely taking those steps to become that person that you've always dreamt of. You're actually putting action behind your dreams and your goals and your aspirations. And then another message that I'm hearing with this, if this is an individual that you have to release, you can't change them. And I feel like you're coming around to understanding that you can't change anyone, because if they're not willing to put in the work, if they're not willing to change for themselves but also change for you, they're not going to. And it's probably created a lot of sleepless nights and anxiety. You know, and I'm very sorry that you've gone through that, but it's time for you to release this person. Because unfortunately, they're not going to give you what you want, and you deserve so much more than sleepless nights and anxiety. And now I feel like since this card is in reverse, you're understanding that and taking that upon you're taking your own life in your hands, essentially. And I definitely see that with the Knave of Swords or the Page of Swords, which is someone who very young, you could kind of say naive, and not in a bad way, just kind of naive to this new phase of life. And he's walking forward but also looking back as well. So it's like you're taking one last look at the past. One last look at who you used to be, one last look at how things used to be with another individual or with you as well. And the swords represents your thoughts and communication. So you're learning how to move forward without looking to the past so much in a way that is keeping you stagnant. Because there's nothing wrong with looking to the past for how to properly move forward so you can learn from your mistakes, but you can't stay in the past too long because that creates stagnancy. Yeah. And then we have the Strength card. This represents someone who, because we all have different aspects of ourselves. We have the more tame versions of us, the parts that we choose to show to others, and then we have the more animalistic side of us that can be a little bit more aggressive, a little bit more intense. So I feel like when certain things are trying to test you in life, you need to make sure that you stay balanced and grounded, because you don't want to keep going backward. You don't want to keep going back and forth. Like if someone, and I've been through this before, like someone will purposely hit your triggers to get you to react and to purposely hurt you because they can, and because they know your triggers and they know you that well. And it's time for you to take back your energy, because it's not worth it. They're not even for your life. They're not even supposed to be in your life long term, so they're not even worth the energy. And it takes a few times to kind of get very familiar with that, as far as like not reacting to every single thing that someone says. But this is where you are now. Because it's time that you utilize your energy in the best way. Utilize your energy in learning how to move forward, just like in this Page of Swords right here. He's looking to the past because he's like, you know what? He's looking back because he's like, you know what? I've been through this same type of argument, this same type of cycle before, and I'm not going back. So let me figure out what I need to do in order to heal, but also make sure that I'm moving forward at the same time. Let me look back a couple more times and make sure that I don't fall for the same bullshit again. And then we have Death. This is Anubis right here. And this came out in reverse. So it did come out in reverse. So I feel like, again, don't feel down on yourself, or don't beat yourself up if you accidentally react, because sometimes it, for so long it's become habit, and it really does. And again, I'm speaking from experience, it does take a minute to break out of that habit. And if there is someone who is trying to trigger you, or other individuals who are speaking down on you, or people who don't have faith in your abilities, it's time for you to shed those individuals, to be honest. It's time for you to shed that aspect of yourself that keeps reacting to these people who, or in reality, children. And hurt people hurt people. And your guides really want you to figure out ways to just get better, and figure out, this is your time to focus on you, because the individuals that have manipulated your time and energy into giving them what they needed out of, their own selfish needs for whatever reason. Because what I'm feeling is like, you're a very high vibrational being, and these individuals are lowering your vibration by getting you to a place where you feel depleted. Because anger and things like that is not bad, because those emotions can fuel you if you understand how to transmute that energy. But it's like, there are a lot of individuals that are like energy vampires, and they don't know how to do anything other than that. And with the Hermit, you're gonna have to take time to rediscover why you're so special, and why you don't deserve this type of energy, and why you deserve better, because you do. You don't deserve to be treated in this way. And I know that things may seem very chaotic outside of you, but it's time for you. The Hermit is ruled by the sign of Virgo. And Virgos are very analytical beings. They're very much like the lawyers of the zodiac. And so now you have to look at certain aspects that are happening around you very analytically, and try to dissect and analyze what is for you and what's not for you. What's wasting your time and what is going to nourish you. Who in your space is worth your energy? And you're so strong. You've been through so much already. So now it's time for you to get through and onto this next phase. But you need to find time to rest, and you need to find time to reflect. Reconnect with who you are at your core. So if there's certain things that you used to do as a child, just to be creative, just to be you, that could be listening to music, dancing, singing, coloring, any of those things. I strongly believe now is the time to rediscover those things that you once loved. And some days, if you don't have the energy to do those things, that's okay. Sometimes a nap is also great. Either of those things are going to be really beneficial for you. So let's get into some of the oracle cards and see. I think I'm going to start off with these. So we have patience. Look, solitude. Success. Look at that. Here, let me. There we go. Yeah, and then we have a lot of the full moons here as well. Rubio, no. Get out of my water. The moon represents feminine energy, which means not in it, the feminine, not in necessarily gender, because it doesn't matter what your gender is. Everyone has masculine and feminine energies within them. Feminine being self-care, inner work, love, nurturing, masculine energy, the external world, taking action, confidence, things of that nature. So with the moon showing up twice in this imagery, I'm feeling as though you have to reconnect with your emotions. Again, like I mentioned before, the Nine of Swords, you're probably so tired of feeling numb, feeling like you have to defend yourself, feeling that you're not able to truly open up to other individuals. And it's not that you can't open up to individuals, it's just you're opening up to the wrong people, because you can always tell when someone's not going to be able to like be empathetic with how you're feeling, you know. You can tell it when someone's able to do that and who is. And right now, you kind of have to be that for yourself, just for a little bit, at least until you're able to find a therapist, or at least until you're able to find a therapist, or definitely try to connect with others. Maybe even, since there is like a bit of swords energy, maybe you can connect with others through social media who are going through the same things. And that's not a substitute for therapy, but at least it can help you if you're not able to afford it at this time. Because therapy is going to be able to highlight those areas that are still like in the shadows, that are still draining your energy from the sidelines. So first we do have patience. So be patient with yourself. Healing takes time, and unfortunately there's a lot of like gurus and false prophets, and they're like, learn how to do this fast, learn how to heal fast, learn how to open your third eye fast. This isn't how this shit works. It takes time. And if you are currently in a relationship, or you're around individuals who are low vibrational, or they're not able to fully understand you and love you for who you are, if you're highly empathic, hold on, I'm like receiving multiple messages. So if you're highly empathic, you absorb energy very much like feminine energy. Feminine energy is all about receiving. And you've been absorbing a lot of other people's energy because they don't know how to handle their own shit. And again, it's a learning experience. Like, people have to kind of figure things out for themselves, and do the research in order to heal. But you've taken on a lot of energy from other individuals. So you, again, with the Hermit card, you need to go within, figure out what needs to be released, what needs to die, just like in this Death card. Because I feel like you're leading towards success, but again, there's certain things that are kind of in the shadows that are preventing you from growing and evolving in the way that you need to, in the way that you want. So now is the time to figure out, is this particular mindset my own, or is this someone else's that they projected onto me? Is this really how I feel, or did someone tell me that this is how I should feel? Am I reacting in this way because this truly makes me angry, or am I reacting just because this is what I've done before and this is what I've seen? Because in the past, I've seen people react in a toxic or negative way because they didn't know how to properly communicate their own emotions. So now I'm reacting to this because this is what I've seen, this is what I've known. You know, you could have seen this as a child, and that's why you react to certain things the way you do. You know, it's a lot. It's in depth. You know, that's why I suggest therapy, because it's pretty in depth. It goes deep. But again, like this crane, you got to look at everything from a higher perspective. Ask those questions. Why am I reacting to this? Why do I feel hurt by this? Why am I angry? Why am I not able to let this person go? What's holding me back from embracing my true self? How can I become more of my authentic self? And since there's so many full moons, and I believe this is more so a sun, not necessarily a moon, but I do feel like the light is going to be shown on these aspects, because the more you ask these questions, the more your guides are going to reveal these answers to you, or they're going to provide, because the Knave of Swords also represents social media and technology and things like that. So I've seen it happen. It's very possible that if you want to learn more about how you operate and how to move in a healthier way, your guides are going to put things in place in order to help you get to that level, because they see that you're ready and they see that you're willing to put in the work. And with solitude, like I mentioned earlier, is focusing. No, come on. I don't know why this isn't focusing, but here we are. There we go. That took a minute. Anyway, so hopefully that. There we go. Okay, sorry. All right. Technical moment, whatever. Anyway, this person's on a little boat, just trying to escape, and they're trying to find, this particular person on the card is trying to find a way out of their current situation. And I believe they're getting to that point where they're going to be able to achieve that. Same thing with you. You're trying to do the research to figure out how you can get out of this certain situation, how you can evolve. And just like I mentioned with feminine energy is also represented by water. And this person in this boat is, oh, come on, camera. There we go. So we have solitude, just like I mentioned with the Hermit card right here. You're trying to find, you just need time alone. You need time to rest. I don't know your situation fully, so I hope that you are able to find that rest and find that time so you can just kind of decompress and figure things out for yourself. But that's definitely what you need. And like I mentioned earlier with the moon, water also represents feminine energy, and it's very calm right now. And this person is in a boat kind of rowing away. So you need to use your emotions to get to where you need to go. By staying calm. Just like I mentioned with the Strength card. You can't let others push you to the point where you react in a negative way, and then it's like, I just wasted my energy on this person and they weren't even worth it. Again, it happens. It's okay, you know, if you falter at times, but the thing is, it can't be consistent. That's the thing. It can't be a consistent thing, because there's nothing wrong with taking up for yourself. But if this person is truly not worth the energy, truly not worth the effort, they're not even willing, they're only getting you to react in order to hurt you. they don't care to understand you. They don't care to make things better. That's how you know if they're worth your energy or not. Because, and I'm sure if it's whoever this is, you can see it. So your guides really want you to stay calm during this process. Be patient and stay calm, because they're leading you to success. They're leading you I don't know why my camera, oh well, whatever, you can see it, hopefully you can see that clearly. But your guides are leading you to success, somewhere where it's like lush and abundant. And right now you're very much like this panther, because when you're in this space of solitude, I feel like what's gonna happen is if this is a situation where you're leaving a certain person, leaving family, something like that, you're gonna like slip away and they're gonna be like, where the fuck did they go? Or they're gonna be like, why isn't this person like acknowledging my toxic behavior? Because no one gives a fuck. Because no one has time for that kind of behavior. So let's see. We also have lift the veil, questioning everything, anything unaligned must go. What did I say? Come on, camera. You just, there we go, boo. And then we have, oh, look at that. The great severing. Mars energy, anger, conflict, softening to love. Look at God. Or whoever you pray to. Yeah. Yeah, oh, look at it. There's... in this card, let me get it to focus. In this card, there's like tanks. There's like a bomb going off. It looks like pollution. Yeah, right here. Aliens. Look at that shit. There's probably something about to pop off pretty soon. I do believe over time, I don't want this to scare you, but I do believe over time that more aliens are going to be revealing themselves. And not all, I mean, just like all humans are not good, all aliens are not bad. There are actually aliens who are high vibrational beings, and they're wanting to assist us in evolving as a whole. But there have been a lot of individuals. So, you could be very anxious about what's happening out in the world, but again, we're going to move through this. I have full faith that we're going to move through this, because it, like, the fact that you're on this reading now shows that you're trying to wake up, shows that you're trying to evolve, shows that you're trying to heal and trying to move past all of these things that have been affecting you in a way that's, your guys are also telling you to take a break from social media too. Because this person's trying to move forward, but then they keep looking back at social media, and it's like you're kind of stuck. And then it's creating, like, it's delaying your rebirth process. Because the death card represents Scorpio energy. I'll just turn that right side up, but Yeah. And you're not kind of giving yourself this grace. Oh, okay. I'm receiving a lot of different messages right now. So, essentially, your guides are trying to lead you to success. But you need to stay in a place of solitude, shut down social media, and you need to allow your guides to revitalize you. You need to allow your guides to bring in love. Rediscover elements of yourself that you love. Because that's all that matters. All this bullshit that's happening in the world right now does not matter. Simply because we are awakening. We were like sleeping giants because we're high vibrational beings. We're very empathetic. We care. And the scales have been so unbalanced because like Anubis, he weighs your heart in a feather. And there's so many individuals that are on this earth, individuals and entities, and they've created such an imbalance. Like they have allowed war, greed, all this other bullshit to keep them from actually loving themselves and loving others unconditionally. Because love is unconditional. You can't create conditions for love. Like that doesn't make those two things don't exist together. So focus on the future that you want. Focus on who you are trying to be. Focus on what you love. That's all that fucking matters right now. That's what's going to bring you the success. That's what you're going to rediscover in this time of solitude. But again, you have to be patient with yourself because, again, healing does take time. You can't rush this process, despite what despite what any of these false prophets say. You can't rush this shit, and that's okay. And for me, I want to say it took me maybe like 1.5 years to get to where I am now, to where I feel comfortable even doing, readings like this. And even then, it's taken even more work, outside of that 1.5 years as well. It got to the point to where I was so fed up. And the only way that I knew how to fix things is to focus on me. And now all that I'm doing is spreading love instead of the same bullshit that these elected officials, these elected actors, are trying to do, because they keep pushing bullshit. They keep pushing fear and anxiety. And you realize that now. You're understanding that the individuals around you and the politicians and things like that, like they're only pushing this agenda, they're pushing this fear because they don't want you to evolve, and you have to. You've spent way too much time just existing, and it's time for you to live. It's time for you to figure out how to live. That's what your guides want for you. That's what your guides want you to set intentions for during this Lionsgate portal. Because you are so strong. You've made it this far. You have to keep going. You can't let them win. Your happiness and your success and embracing your authentic self is the most important thing right now. And do whatever you can to stay healthy as well. That's what you gotta worry about. And like this card says, Mars energy, anger, conflict, and softening to love. Conflict only leads to more conflict. We've seen it. It's been happening for generations now. War means more war. More fights mean more fights. Fighting fire with fire. Like, it literally, like, we've seen it. It's been happening for generations now. And we're at this time where we're embracing we're picking up where the hippies left off in the 60s and 70s. Because what the government did, what the elected officials did, was they made them seem like they were crazy because they smoked weed and shit. But literally all they wanted to do was spread love. And then what they used is media to morph what they were saying. Because since they created the narrative around weed as like a negative thing, it made it seem like what they were saying was there was no credibility connected to the whole love and peace thing. But it is, because that is the only way to actually build and have the success. Because we have so much abundance, but we don't utilize it in the right way, or we've put unintentionally, it's not, unintentionally, in a lot of ways, other people have been put in place to only give us scraps. And I'm gonna be honest with you, you can't save the world. But what you can do is transform this anger into love, transform all this hurt and pain into knowledge on how to move forward in the best way. How can you contribute to actually having a better future? Not just for yourself, but for everyone as well. But first things first, worry about you. You can't control what's happening outside of your home. So don't even try it. But what you can control is how you respond and react to certain things. How you respond and act to other individuals who just want to continue just not caring. And you care too much. Which isn't a bad thing, despite what people say. It's time for you to sever some ties and go with the flow. You're going to calmer waters. Like literally, this stream is kind of leading up to this solitude card, which is like a huge lake. So let's see. We have onyx. Hopefully you can see. There we go. Autonomy, self-discipline, command. Tune into your inner commander. Onyx is a strong ally, dispelling loneliness and self-doubt and instilling greater confidence in your decision-making. Face your fears and know that you have the power to overcome them. Onyx's surface represents the passing of time, the balance of yin and yang. It is a sturdy and solitary stone, and encourages you to break free from any unhealthy relationships in order to be autonomous. Know that you are completely capable of making the right decisions for yourself. After all, it's your life. Look at that. I don't think I really have to explain that at all, because it says it literally, it just reiterated what I was saying. The last card is from Mother Aset. You may know her as her Greek name Isis. And we have the Lunar Queen. She is Celestial Crescent. She is of the Celestial Crescent. Oof, there we go. So I'm going to read from the book. So I don't fully know the meanings of all these cards yet. But that's okay, because I'm learning like several different things all at once. Let's see. Here we go. There is a deep feminine wisdom that recognizes the importance of cycles of rest and replenishment, an essential balance to our actions of power and demonstration. You are asked to allow this replenishment for yourself now, trusting that you are in a cycle of creation that is about to shift into a new phase. Release and enjoy the process without without having to control or force it. But look at that full moon too. Mother said it best. And I'll read a couple other moments or passages. This oracle tells you that Lady Aset and the spiritual guidance that cares for you completely encourages and supports you in being strong and giving yourself absolute permission to rest when needed, to honor your creative cycles for greatest productivity and quality. Look at that. Yeah, you need to rest. Point blank period. Because you do. That's the only way that you're going to be able to be your best self and put your best self forward. You can't like, like both of these cards said, you can't control the outcome, but you can control what you do. You can control how you move forward and how you contribute to this world. And you have a lot to contribute, but first you need to rest. You can't give from an empty cup. Yeah. So I believe that's all the messages that Mother Aset and your guides have for you. Things to keep in mind during this Lionsgate portal. And take some time to do some journaling and take some time to set intentions around what you want for yourself. And take lots of naps. Drink some tea, go for walks, out in nature. Delete social media. At least give yourself like a week. If not a day. That's still just as significant. You need to give yourself just enough time to just recuperate, because all these different things are draining your energy, and you're gonna have to create a little bit of self-discipline. You're gonna have to discipline yourself in order to stay, in the best frame of mind for your own healing, for your own success. So, sending you so much love, wishing you all the best. And good luck out there, okay? Mwah. I'll see you next time. Bye, pal. No, bye. Bye, pal number 1. Hello, pal number 2. So let's go ahead and get into your reading. So what I'm going to do is shuffle some tarot cards. And then afterwards, we're going to look at your oracle cards and see what your guys have to say, okay? So let me give these one good shuffle. Maybe 2 more. Okay, let's see what your guys have to say concerning this Lionsgate portal. Oh. Let's get one more card. That's way too many cards there. A lot of the piles have been getting the message of strength. Okay. So first off, we have the Queen of Pentacles. Pentacles represents the finances, the external world. It could also be, I think I said finances. I don't know what I said. Anyway, the Queen of Pentacles represents someone who, very earth element energy. So think Virgo, Taurus, Capricorn. I would kind of put it a little closer to Taurus, because with Taurus energy, they can be very nurturing, but they know how to get the bag. They know how to work for what they truly want. They know how to be diligent, strategic, because they truly want, what satisfies them is stability. And, like I mentioned, the Queen of Pentacles is someone who's very nurturing and someone who's also very balanced. So I am feeling right now that you are not very balanced, and it could be specifically because your finances. It could have a connection to what's happening in the external world. But I'm also feeling that you're trying to create, there's a new business venture that you're wanting to create with this Knight of Pentacles. And with the Knight of Pentacles, normally whenever a knight is referenced, they're always like fast moving, heading into battle or heading into a new adventure. But with the Pentacles, it's, since like I said, it's earth energy. Think the bull. Normally bulls are just grazing. They're very chill. They don't move too quick unless it's necessary or they feel like they're being threatened. And so with the Knight of Pentacles, I'm feeling that right now, whatever you're trying to build is taking time. But please always remember that you have this Queen of Pentacles energy within you. It's just because look, like the Knight is facing this way towards the Queen of Pentacles. So you're going to get there. But again, okay, there's two different things that I'm hearing. One is that you need to keep in mind that you want to create something stable that's going to last for generations. That's very earth energy right there. Because you can't create a business you can't create a home or something stable on sand. You have to take your time to reinforce the foundation. So if this is business related, you need to make sure that you're dotting your I's, crossing your T's, doing the research to make sure that whatever you're making is not going to falter no matter what. And I do feel that that's what you're moving towards. But again, I feel that you're putting a little too much energy and emphasis into business and into maybe other individuals as well, but not yourself. Because the Queen of Pentacles is also about self-care as well. Because balancing work and play, balancing work and self-care is very important. Because if you don't have that balance, what you're trying to create it takes even longer. Because you're not giving your energy to the right things. You're very scattered right now. So what your guides are telling you is to be patient. And don't worry about what's happening in the external world. Because what's happening out there is karma. Because the individuals that have been elected, the elite, these energies and entities that are low vibrational, that do not have the collective's best interest at heart, they don't want me to speak on this shit, but anyway, we're gonna speak any damn way. So karma is hitting them like a brick fucking wall, because they've it's been generations now where they have been trying to build these businesses on the backs of other individuals, and they have not put things in place to make sure that if there was a pandemic to happen, people would be okay. This is the shit that we're up against right now. So they've created businesses off of lies and deceit. And what you're trying to do is actually build a business that actually makes sense. You're trying to build relationships that make sense, that actually are going to be nurturing and caring and loving. You know, I keep mentioning business because that's the thing that keeps coming to mind, but it may not be business. You know, take it how it resonates. You know, this could represent literally anything in your life right now that you're trying to create a stable foundation for. And with the swords, the Ace of Swords right here, this represents your guides just dropping ideas into your lap, dropping new, and it could be through social media because the swords represents your thoughts, communication, emails, paperwork, all of that. So I'm feeling as though like when you take time to, literally every pile has been getting this message. When you take time to rest and when you understand that what you're trying to build is going to take time, because again, the people that you might put on pedestals or the individuals that are receiving karma for not taking care of their employees or not taking care of others in the way that they should from a place of love, karma is coming. And so your guides are going to be helping you and assisting you with how to get to that level of luxury, Queen of Pentacles, without jeopardizing ethics and your morals and selling your soul for dumb shit. Because these individuals that have put us in this predicament have sold their souls for private jets and Birkin bags and all of this shit. And the thing is, you need your soul to get to heaven. You need your soul to elevate to this next phase in life. You need your soul to reincarnate. And these individuals don't understand that, but they're still trying to create more chaos because they can. And that's what your God, that's why you can't use these individuals as examples of what you want. You're going to have to figure that out on your own because they are terrible examples. And I feel like with the Ace of Swords, your guides, like they're slicing shit left and right because they want you to see what's real and what's not. And you're going to have to, this is Horus or Heru, a falcon. The son of Aset and Asar, or Osiris and Isis. You're going to have to look at things from a different perspective. Like I said, you're trying to create something that's going to be stable, that makes sense, that's going to be nurturing, that's going to be long lasting, and that's not going to be built off of lies and deceit. But again, because we have the Ten of Pentacles in reverse. And I feel like this correlates to you and what's happening externally as well, is that this is what you're working towards. The Ten of Pentacles represents generational wealth, abundance, and your guides want to give you this. But again, there are certain individuals that you need to take off a pedestal, because the individuals that you're idolizing, the individuals that you're trying to become like, they don't even have a fucking soul. And the wealth that they've created is false because they were trying to create they were trying to create a foundation off of lies and deceit. And it's failing them. And they're trying to do whatever they can to keep it together, but they can't. Because you can't run away from God. He gonna find your ass no matter what. Like, it is what it is. And you have the strength to create the life that you desire. To create a life that's going to give you exactly what you want and more. But again, you have to take, look, because I'm feeling two different things with this card. You need to stop idolizing these individuals that you think they have it all together. Because yes, they do have money. Yes, they do have wealth. Yes, they do have abundance, but they didn't get it in the right way. And if your foundation is false, all of this shit is going to crumble. But again, you have the strength to get to where you want to go. And your guides, so I'm feeling like, again, take people off pedestals, but also your guides are wanting to give you this wealth. But again, you have a little bit of analyzing to do first. And then they're going to reveal to you how to get to this level. But you need to understand your own strength. You don't have to use these methods to create this wealth and this life of luxury, because that's one thing that I can promise you. If that's how you decide to build a business or build a relationship or build any partnerships, it's going to fail. But if you do it from a place of love and use your passion and inspiration and imagination to fuel what you want, it's going to flourish. It's going to flourish, because the Knight of Pentacles leads into the Queen of Pentacles, and the Queen leads into the King of Pentacles. But again, you might feel a little frustrated right now because you're not getting to where you want to go as fast as you think you should be moving right now. But I think you can't rush this. You can't rush it. But what you can do is ask your guides how to move forward in the best way possible. And they're going to reveal the answers. You just got to be ready to go for it. So let's look at your oracle cards. So we have going forward, enlightenment, and stand still. Yeah. So going forward, I'm feeling, because if you see in this card, there's like fog. Hopefully you can see that clearly. There's like fog happening, and you see how this road, it's not straight. It's like winding. That's how this path is. It slithers like a snake. Like it's constantly just like going in all these different directions. Like especially when it comes down to business, there is going to be a lot of trial and error, and sometimes that can be very frustrating. But again, you have to look at it from a higher perspective, from an enlightened perspective, because, and I just heard a crow outside, so that was confirmation. So the thing that you have to remember is that this road is not going to be easy. That's how these other individuals have gotten to where they are, because they've taken the easy route. And you're not allowed, you can't take that route. Because at this point, you need to be focusing on you healing, you focusing on how to get to where you want to go in the best way. And if this involves selling your soul, especially, I don't know, I just heard like the music industry. A lot of your faves don't have a soul. One day I will definitely hop into that conversation a little bit more in depth so you can see exactly what the hell I'm talking about, but they don't. And some of them have even said it in their own lyrics. Kanye West sold my soul for a Happy Meal and some toys. J. Cole has mentioned it. I don't remember if it was in a song or he posted it on his IG stories. He said it too. I can't think of any other examples, but We're gonna get there. But again, you're coming in out of this fog and you're entering into an area that's much more abundant, much more lush. The sun is out, but you're going to get to your destination, bottom line. But again, you got to keep moving. Because even though the Nine of Pentacles is moving very slow, he's still moving. Like if bulls were trying to migrate, they would move very quickly. I mean, they would move very slowly, excuse me, but they would still get to their destination. And with the Enlightenment card, yeah, I'm feeling like, again, you got to look at things from a higher perspective. What do you truly want? Do you want longevity? Do you want wealth and abundance? Do you want that shit to last? Are you trying to take care of your kids? Do you want to make sure that they know how to build their own solid foundations? This is, so you need to figure out where you need to start. And if you've already started, keep going. Because I don't know what you're building, but even though the Ten of Pentacles is in reverse, this is just to show you that this is something that you need to keep in mind. That your guides want to give you all of this wealth and abundance, but there is going to be quite a bit of work that you have to put in first. Because look, this person in the card is on a stable foundation, but you got to remember that the individuals that you aspire to be like, they don't have as much freedom as you have. And then we have standstill. Yeah, like I said with the Knight of Pentacles, like, it really does feel like you're not moving. But things will pick up again. But right now, you need to make sure that you're taking care of yourself. Because when it comes down to creative ideas, when you are trying to give from an empty cup, operate from, from a place of exhaustion, you're not, everything you make it like, and this is coming from someone who has been through it, but also, I've studied art and created art for years. Every single time I was tired and got really frustrated, that's when things were just not working out for me. But when I took a break, took a nap, done something, some self-care to alleviate a lot of that anger and stress and frustration, I came back with a fresh new perspective, and I was moving from a place of love from then on, because I love creating. But when I'm moving from a place of frustration, it gets a little frustrating. It gets overwhelming, because it's just like, why the fuck is this shit not working out like I want? I don't like that. But again, you're figuring it out, or you're going to figure it out. And like this crane, I believe. Yeah, crane, pelican, I don't know. I think it's a crane, I don't know. Some large bird. He's observing. Just like a hawk, they don't just swoop down at any damn thing. They observe, they lock their eyes on their target, and then they swoop down and get it. But they have to wait for that perfect moment, because they're preparing. They're circling and preparing for the right moment, the right opportunity, the right thing to come along, and then they're acting on it. But the thing is, they're prepared. They're prepared. Yeah. We'll probably continue. So we have activated earth, power places, ley lines, trust where you're being led. Look at that. Make sure that's in print. Okay. And then we have the blue flame, spontaneous awakening, activation, integration, time. When I I said something about selling the soul, and this looks like the representation of a soul. And it's also like inviting you into the unknown. Because we don't have a lot of... There are examples out there, but the ones that are popular, like popular examples of how to build wealth, we don't really have a lot of those. We don't have a lot of examples of how to build wealth from a loving and stable foundation. And even with the pyramids, yes, it does look like they were built on sand, but Egypt wasn't always a very like desertous terrain. I don't know if I use that word right, but here we are. So again, yeah, your guides are waking you up to how you need to be moving forward and in what way. Definitely, you're being enlightened. You're seeing things from a higher perspective. And then trust where you're being led. And I also do think take some time to get out in nature. Take some time to meditate. And meditation could look like anything. Because say for instance, while you're doing your skincare routine, that could be a form of meditation. Cleaning could be a form of meditation. You know, getting yourself organized is another thing as well. That's also a part of being prepared. That's what I meant to say earlier, because I kind of lost my train of thought. But being prepared is also getting organized. Like if you have your stuff all over the place, like if you have paperwork for business related opportunities and your paperwork is all over the place, nothing's quite finished, then you're not ready to move on to the next step, and your guides can see that. Because I feel like there's some moments where you're just like, why? Why should I keep going? But you won't know unless you finish what you've already started. And again, don't sell your soul for some bullshit. Pay attention to what contracts you fucking sign. And I mean that with my whole chest. Because that's how I remember, if you know the rapper Sukihana, and she's not the only one, she's just one example. But she was crying on social media and she was like, y'all, I literally just signed my soul over to the devil. And I was just signing stuff. Because they presented to me, you know, these lavish cars, mansions, chains, all of this shit. And they told her to sign on the dotted line, and she did. And now she doesn't have freedom at all. She has to her only thing that she can do is abide by that contract. And that is it. And I'm not my purpose is not to instill fear. Like, I'm really trying to show you, you have to wake up. You have to realize that, like, the way a lot of these individuals have gotten to where they are, they lost the most important thing about them, which is their soul, their essence, their authenticity. For things that are temporary. Because yes, luxury and things like that is nice. You know, I ain't gonna say that money doesn't always bring happiness, because that's some bullshit right there. But I will say it sure does fucking help. But it's how you get it is the thing. And your path is going to be very different from these individuals. And maybe you are trying to get into the music industry, but there's a reason why all of these different doors keep closing in your face, because your guides are trying to save you from something. They're trying to save you from making a huge mistake, something that you cannot get back. Like, if you sell your soul, you cannot get that shit back. And I'm actively doing research on how to go about that. You know, is there a way to save these artists from what they fucking done? But I can't find anything. Unless there's a fucking loophole in these damn contracts. But even then, I wouldn't even bank on that, to be honest. Because at the end of the day, I am Tarot Mother for a reason. This is and I also have Mother Aset or Isis talking through me as well. Like, this shit is serious. So bottom line is, you have to keep going. Because where you're going is going to lead to this wealth, to this abundance. And when you are prepared, you're going to get everything that you want and more. But you have to get it. You have to go about it the right way. Don't listen to these bitches and don't listen to this bullshit that you have. No. Be mindful of what you fucking sign. And now you have to take this time to integrate all of these lessons that you've learned from the past. Like, if it's business endeavors, you know, how can you do this time around a little bit better? And speaking from someone who has, you know, I've studied ceramics for years. And one thing that I've learned is you can't control what the clay is gonna fucking do. You can't. So each time, it's like when I got frustrated with something, it's like, you know what? Fuck it. I'm gonna take a break, come back to it, and then I'll brainstorm about how to get through this. Or, you know, actually, whenever I would take a break and take care of myself, ideas would flow in, just like this Ace of Swords right here is telling you. Ideas are going to flow in once you take time to rest, and once you take time to take a break from what's been kind of frustrating you for a bit. Because whatever you're working on, you're very passionate about it. And I wish you all the best. But again, you got to go about it the right way. Because one false move and your soul belongs to someone who does not give a damn about you. But I do, and your guides do, because these motherfuckers will lie to you all damn day. But I'm not going to, and your guides are not going to as well. So you're so strong, just like with the Strength card. Things might seem like a standstill right now, but again, you have to observe. This is your moment to observe and take slow and calculated steps forward. So we have the crystal emerald, spring, unity, and vitality. Lush and reminiscent of the green of spring, emerald is known as the stone of successful love, stimulating loyalty, partnership, and friendship. Emerald opens the heart chakra, healing the auroric field with unconditional love, hope, and joy. With exuberance and lust for life, the emerald is a sign for new beginnings and a fresh start in life. Radiating health, prosperity, and vitality. Grow in the direction of your dreams and nurture yourself along the way. You deserve the riches that life has to offer you. What the fuck did I just say? What did I just say? The card said it best. I love it. And then we have ametrine. Energetic, intuitive, and connected. A combination of amethyst and citrine. Ametrine opens the pathway between the physical realm and the spiritual realm. That's definitely this card right here, Activated Earth. Your guides are trying to connect with you. Same thing with the Enlightenment card as well. And yeah, you got it. You got it. With the sunny disposition, this stone can alleviate stress during challenging life transitions. With the ability to go beyond the surface, ametrine brings the shadow parts of us to light, healing deep wounds and trauma by confronting them directly. Ametrine encourages you to hop in the driver's seat and take control over your life. Aiding in discernment and clarity, ametrine gives you the confidence to take the lead. Look at it. Yes. Again, like I said, get out of nature and integrating, like I said, certain lessons that you may have glossed over in the past because you might have been rushing. It is what it is. It happens. But now is the time for you to slow down. And healing is so important because there could be quote unquote negative or not desirable. I'm trying to say it without seeming like it's a bad thing because it's not. Because there's certain elements of ourselves that we may not like, but we have to look at those with unconditional love because they make us who we are. And it makes us so special because we're so complex. We can't be 110% all the time. We have to rest. You have to recharge. And that's okay. You are not weak because you have to take a break. You are not lazy because you're not. Like, based on what I'm feeling and what I'm seeing, you've been putting in that work. But the reason why you feel so stuck and stagnant is because, again, you're tired. That's really it. You're just really tired. And you're not thinking from a place of love. You're thinking from a place of judgment and criticism, which is not where you need to be right now. Don't judge yourself because you can't keep moving forward. And if you're battling anxiety and depression and things of that nature, that's your body telling you that it needs a break, that it can't keep moving forward like this. You have to rest, and you have to understand that your guides love you so much, and you have to love yourself enough to realize that you are worth every single thing that your heart desires. Like this card says, you deserve the riches that life has to offer you. So you have to remember that because you are worthy of it means that you are going to get it. And there is a little bit of work that you're going to have to put in, but that's okay. You will thank yourself later. You will. Because like I said, I've been doing research on these artists that have, this is just one example, but because it's across the board. Any industry where they're at a very high level, a lot of them are, I don't know if there is any that have their soul, but every single one of them regrets it. Because they can't do something as simple as be their authentic selves. They can't do something as simple as rest. Because of this damn contract and whatever they have to abide by. So again, think of it from a different perspective. Your life is very luxurious in comparison to what others have to deal with as far as like having the freedom to rest. Because if it's something that you can't control, there is no use. There is no use in trying to force it. When you implement love into a situation, it's only going to give that back. And that's what you got to focus on. So the last card that we have, Serpent of Fire, Priestess of the Serpent Sisterhood. This is Mother Aset. So I'm going to read out of the book and see what she has to say. Let me get to here we go. Aset, priestess of the serpent sisterhood and queen of the serpent fire, guides you through transformation now as your energy field grows stronger and old energies are burned away in the process of your growth. Trust that you are growing and are more capable than you have been previously. Do not assess your current ability based on past standards, as they no longer apply to you. You are stronger and more powerful now than you have ever been before. You need to learn afresh what you are capable of, and Aset helps you now. Yeah. You're transforming. You're transforming. You're not the same person that you were a year ago. You're not the same person that you were a couple months ago, let alone last week. So if there have been some things that may have not been the most savory that you have done in the past, it's in the past for a reason. And your guides needed you to go through those types of situations so that you could learn and observe why you should not be moving through those, why you shouldn't be taking those types of steps. And you were also moving from a place of survival as well. And when we're moving from a place of survival, we don't really have, it's very much the strength card, you know? Like this animalistic tendency that we have inside of ourselves to just react to certain things. We don't know any better. Just like when you have a puppy, when you first get them and they start biting every damn thing, they don't know that they're biting too hard. They don't mean it, but it takes them a minute to learn that, okay, I need to be more cautious with how I'm being playful with this individual, because with my owner or with kids, because this hurts them and I don't want to hurt them. So I'm learning from my mistakes so that I don't hurt the people that I love. Yeah. That's where you are right now. So forgive yourself and forgive others, because again, people don't know any better. People are just reacting just to react at this point. But yeah, I think that's all I have to say to you, pile number 2. And I'm literally wishing you all the best, sending you so much love. And you've got this. Your guides have so much faith in you, and I have faith in you that literally everything's gonna be okay. Just be careful what fucking contracts you sign, please, for the love of God. Just please, because again, you don't need this bullshit to prove that you're worthy, because you are. The luxury and things will come, but you also have to view what you have and take care of what you have as luxurious. Because when you take care of what you have now and you're grateful and express gratitude for what you have now, your guides give you more. But if you feel like you don't have enough, you're operating from a place of lack and from a place of survival. And your guides are trying to push you into a place of love so you don't have to view everything from that low vibrational level. Because I'm feeling that you have more than enough. You just got to look at it from a higher perspective. You know, like there's plenty of times where, you know, I would go to the Dollar Tree and, you know, I would have a whole ass spa day. Maybe not get skincare from there, you know, be careful. But when it comes down to maybe like doing your nails, finding some cute little lights for your bedroom, finding some nice coloring books to relax, you can do a lot. You can do a lot with a little. So just be grateful for where you are now, because it's only going to get better from here. And do some journaling. I always recommend therapy to figure out what needs to be healed in this moment so that you can move forward with ease. And I think that's really going to help you. But if you cannot afford therapy, journaling is also really beneficial. Just to write out your goals, write out your aspirations, and be specific. And don't be like, don't be like, I want a Birkin. Be like, I want wealth. I want financial freedom. I am worthy of everything my heart desires. I am worthy of never having to worry about finances. Think from that standpoint. Because wealth and abundance and prosperity is going to get you a lot. And that doesn't mean just what you can buy and purchase. It means having a peace of mind. It means being able to relax whenever you fucking feel like it. It means being able to travel whenever you want to. Like, there's a lot that wealth and abundance means. Having an abundance of unconditional love to give to the people that you care about. Taking care of your children and your family in the way that you want to take care of them, in ways that you were not able to experience when you were younger. Alright, pile number 2. So I love you so much, and your guides love you as well, and I'm wishing you all the best, and I have full faith that you're going to be able to accomplish everything and anything your heart desires, with love, of course. So, mwah. Bye, pile number 2. Hello, pile number 3. So what we're going to do today is shuffle some tarot, see what pops out, and then we already have your oracle cards set aside so we can see what's popping. Okay, so spirit, angels, and guides, universe, mother, set. I love the light. What messages do you have for pile number 3? One more card, spirit. Okay. First, we have the Knight of Cups, or Knight of Chalices, according to this deck. Sorry for the background noise. With the Knight of Cups, I'm seeing that a few things. One, you could be getting a love offer. But you also could be moving to, you're transitioning to a space where you're able to fill your own cup. You're not depending on others to give you what you can already give yourself. And I'm seeing with the Two of Swords, because with the cups is all about your emotions, your intuition, your inner world, the side of you that you don't really express with the world. It's who you are when you're alone. And based on what I'm feeling and what the cards are kind of showing, I feel like there's been similar messages within the group, other groups. But what I'm feeling is that a lot of us are going through this awakening, because we do have the Judgment card right here too. And we're just at this point where we're having to sever some ties. Because the Two of Swords is about indecision, not wanting to make a move. You have two options, but you're not sure which way to go. And no, sir, no, Rubio, no. Sorry, my cat. In this card, the individuals look the same, so it could be you in your own way in a lot of situations. Like, because of fear and doubt, you're almost crippled and stagnant and incapable of making a decision. Or there's someone in your life that is creating a lot of tension. And you're just... mentally, you're just like, should I go or should I stay? And I believe you know what the answer to that question is. But now you just have to go forward. You have to do it. But I do feel with the Seven of Swords, there's some sort of... oh, you can see that clearly. It did come out in reverse. So I'm feeling like there's a reckoning happening. With you or with another person. Or, you know, other people in your group. And I kind of feel like your circle is kind of dwindling. But I think, you know, don't look at it from a negative perspective. Think about it in a way that, you know, you deserve individuals where you can fill their cup and they're going to fill your cup as well. They're not going to just deplete you and leave you feeling any kind of way. And you deserve and you're worthy of that kind of love. You're worthy of unconditional love. And it sucks that they put you in this situation where you don't know what to do. You do now, you know what to do, but it took you a minute to kind of get to this point where you were like, okay, I have to leave this situation. It could, and again, it might not be relationships. It could be like romantic, it could be platonic, partnerships, businesses, business opportunities. What's the other thing I'm thinking of? Jobs. That too, because the Seven of Swords represents someone who, like a thief in the night, someone who's stealing your joy, someone who's projecting their own thoughts and insecurities onto you. And I think if you give it time, though, it's going to be revealed what those thoughts are, how you need to move forward, and also who's been projecting these ideas and mentalities onto you, because it's been stealing your joy. And Haru, or Horus, if you will, is the falcon demonstrated here. And he really wants you to look at things from a different perspective. He really wants you to reconsider who you spend your time with and how you spend your time. If these individuals are causing more anxiety rather than replenishing you, especially emotionally, then you have to move forward. And you have to find ways where you can nurture yourself. And don't feel guilty for nurturing yourself, because you deserve it. Yeah, and like I mentioned earlier with Judgment, your guides are putting you in a situation where you're going to be in a state of rest, and you're going to be able to be reborn. You're awakening. You're awakening to the fact, the Six of Pentacles, that people have not been reciprocating the same love and affection and energy and time that you've been giving. And now it's time for you to figure out, how do you want to move forward? How do you want to use this second chance at life? How do you finally want to live? Because I feel like these individuals have kept you, this job, these partnerships have kept you in a place where you weren't sure they made you doubt yourself. They made you doubt your intuition. I feel like you're very intuitive, but they've definitely put you in several situations where you've doubted yourself. And also, if you can't change these people. You can't change. Because if they're willing to learn and they're willing to put in the actual effort to change, then maybe, maybe they're willing to keep around. I'm sorry, maybe they're worth keeping around, but it does not feel that way. And again, I've been definitely speaking from experience. It's hard. It's hard being around individuals who just can't see you for you. And they don't reciprocate the same energy that you give to them. This person has gifts and flowers. All kinds of good stuff. So now is time for you to put that same energy that you put into others into yourself, especially when it comes down to self-care and healing and developing your own intuitive skills. And the thing is, you might be, we've been taught through society and other means of control that we're just human. We're just a sister, we're just a brother, we're just a cousin, we're just an employee. But we're so much more than that. We're all of those things, whatever, titles correlate to your life. But in addition, we are also the people, we are also the evolved versions of who we were in the past. And then you could be a starseed, which means your soul could have reincarnated on another planet. You could have been another species, like Lyran. Lyran are individuals, because there's Lyran and there's Vega, and they're very similar, but Lyran, they're so sweet. And I don't mean this in a bad way, but they could be just a little bit naive at first. Because it's you don't expect people to be mean. You don't expect people to be manipulative. But you learn real quick. And also, if you do have Lyran ancestry, or you could have been Lyran in a past life, you may attract a lot of narcissistic people and energy vampires, because they see that you're so giving, they see that you're willing to put in the effort, but they choose to not give you the reciprocity that you need and that you deserve. And you've probably gone back and forth with these individuals, trying to show them and prove to them why you deserve this reciprocity, but they're not willing to give you that. And now you're going to have to remove yourself from the situation however you're able to do that in this moment. And allow your guides, call in your guides. Call all of your guides in of high vibration. Your guides in that can offer you unconditional love. And ask them to heal you. Ask them to show you how to heal yourself. Because we have the cosmic heart. Devotion, potency, make your life a moving prayer. Yeah, didn't I say well, I said speak to your guides, but also prayer. All in the same vein. And water your garden, nourishment, body care, tenderness, and rest. Yeah, everybody needs to rest. That message has been coming out for every single while. And we the Hathors. Deep love, mother's milk, birth as a portal. Yeah, this correlates directly with judgment. Like, your guides are trying to put you in a space where you can heal and feel unconditional love. And you need to start taking care of yourself. That I said this. Yeah, okay. Listen, bless. Okay. Yeah, you gotta start taking care of yourself. And again, this may not happen super fast. You know, you gotta give it time. Because healing takes a lot of time. Because you have to identify what thoughts are mine, what behaviors are mine, and what is learned behavior and others' projections of their own insecurities that they brought onto me for whatever reason. And you have to be devoted to yourself. You have to be devoted to your healing. Because that's what's going to get you out of this situation. That's what's going to put you in alignment to find an individual that can actually give you the reciprocity that you deserve. And the alignment to move into this new phase of life. And then we have stillness. And then gateway. Yeah, another portal and gateway. Yeah, you're definitely going through an awakening. You're starting to understand how serious it is for you to shift all of this attention that you put on everyone else and move it to where it's all on you. Because unfortunately, they do not deserve the kind of love that you're capable of giving and that you have been giving. And I mentioned you're an intuitive. You are so special. This is a unicorn right here. Look at him. Look at him. I love it. Yeah, your guides are literally preparing you for this next phase. Because you're going through this like death and rebirth phase. Because you're going to come to this point, or you're already at this point where you're going to be grieving the person that you once were, to let them free, let that aspect of you die and be reborn. But you're also at a point where you are grieving the individuals that you have to leave behind, and grieving the fact that they weren't able to give you the love that you deserve. And you're learning how special you are. And I'm also feeling I've been recommending this for everyone, but like, please take a moment to get out in nature and just relax. Get away from the chaos. Shut off your phone and just breathe. And then stillness, you, in this moment of stillness, you need to do whatever you can to heal, to pamper yourself, water your garden, and do things that you enjoy doing, not things based on what other people think. Because in this situation, they don't fucking matter. Because they can't fill you up with this. They just can't fill you up with the love that you deserve, unfortunately. And I believe that you're going to find that. For sure. But it's going to take some time because you're in this, because it's frozen around the swan. But things will pick up again. Things will definitely pick up again. But you're in like hibernation mode right now. Or about to be in hibernation mode. And then you're gonna like be in, it's like the more you heal, the easier it is for your guides to kind of propel you forward in life. And we have Hathor, very nurturing and loving energy. A lot of correlations to the bull. And bulls just kind of sit and graze under a tree, and that's like the literally the best thing that you could ever do for them. Give them a nice green pasture, a nice shady tree, and they are set. And that's what you need right now, because you deserve some time for yourself. And then we also have a lazulite, which looks like this. Cosmic serenity and peace. The cosmic forces are at play with lazulite, bringing serenity, peace, and tranquility to anyone who crosses paths with the stone. Lazulite comes from the Arabic word lazward, meaning sky or heaven, and revering the sky's blue color of the stone surface. Referring to the sky blue color of the stone surface. It stimulates the third eye, drawing out psychic and intuitive abilities and dispelling worry, anxiety, and stress to promote a clear state of mind. Use lazulite when you need extra strength to heal addictive habits and to give yourself that inner peace against personal demons. Yes, exactly what I've been saying. And sometimes it's wild, and again, no judgment, I've been there before. But when it comes down to some things that you have to keep in mind is that when we've gone through traumatic experiences and we don't know anything outside of that, we can become addicted to consistently going back to that same bullshit. We can become addicted to become addicted to anything stagnant, because it's comfortable. That's our, it's been our comfort zone for so long. And we haven't been taught how to move forward in the healthiest way, unfortunately. But now is the time, in this moment of stillness. And I remember I would get so frustrated when I would do a reading for myself and I would see this card. But over time, I realized that in this place of stillness, in this place of rest, when everything was slowing down, it allowed me to relax. It allowed me to show myself unconditional love. And it really allowed me to develop my psychic skills as well. And I feel like you're in this place where you're able to do that, because you're about to be in this place where you can have this peace and you can just focus on you. So yeah, it might be a little frustrating for you right now because you want to just go, but that's not what your guides need you to do right now. You have to heal and learn, and don't be upset with yourself or beat yourself up over things that happened in the past, because you needed to learn those things so you can heal those elements of yourself, especially if it's like addictive habits. You need to learn how to heal them properly so that the next time you might be triggered or something comes up, you know exactly how to handle it in a healthier way. And it could be as simple as taking a nap. It could be that easy, So for Mother Aset, oh, look at this. We have initiation, spiritual testing of Ra and Lady Isis, or Aset. I always say Aset. But so I'm going to read from the book. And so what we have is, when you are being spiritually initiated into the mysteries of love, light, and power, there are moments of deep challenge. The key is to find the light within the challenge, the learning, growth, or wisdom that can be summoned to turn the challenge into an opportunity for healing. Whilst the scorching heat of Ra seeks to burn through any resistance, the Lady Aset, with compassion and cleverness, will protect you from burning and instead enable you to be nourished and grow from the light of Ra. Let Aset help you pass the test of initiation. I'm like getting ahead of myself because I'm receiving messages as I'm reading and I'm like, whoa. Okay. Let Aset help you pass the test of intense growth as you thrive with this new life. I mean, that's, yeah. I couldn't have said it better myself. You're being initiated into this new phase in life, but again, take your time and put in the work to research healthier ways for you to pamper yourself. And I don't care what nobody say. You can pamper yourself with things that you find at like the Dollar Tree, Dollar General. You can pamper yourself on a budget. And listen, I would go to TJ Maxx, and they would have like face masks and lotions and all kinds of stuff for, hella discounted. You've got this. You've got this. This challenge is only temporary. And you've gone through many challenges before, so this one is not going to be, this isn't going to be the thing that's going to like end you, or you're not going to be able to pass, because you're on your way. And taking baths. If you are a water sign, like a Scorpio, Pisces, or Cancer, or have those elements highly aspected in your natal chart, taking baths will be really, really good for you. Very soothing. Water is very cleansing. And you can say a prayer over the water as well. In regards to healing, self-love, things of that nature. So I strongly recommend that. Listen to some positive and healing music or frequencies. Do whatever you can, but you're gonna be okay. This challenge is literally temporary, and you're gonna make it through. Their guides are literally preparing you. And it's so funny because Ra is right up here. Ra's up here, like the card said. there's elements of your life that are burning away, but your guides are covering you with unconditional love and protection, so that when all of this other things that don't matter fall away, you're protected, and it's going to propel you into this new life. So, and if your guides remove individuals from your life, let that shit be. Don't let them back in. And use your intuition, use your discernment, you know. Because I understand there might be some people where they could have been going through a hard time and they weren't able to really like communicate how they were feeling. But again, if they don't put the same amount of effort in order to make this work that you're putting in, leave them where they're at. There's no point in going through these same cycles with an individual who is willing to not put in the effort. And you deserve someone who is going to be able to do that. And right now, I'm feeling as though it might not be an actual partner right now. I believe the partner will come later if you are looking for love. But right now, you have to be this person for you and allow your guides to also help you with this process, because they're going to give you insight as to how this is going to go down, or how this would go down for your best, to the best of your ability. I mean, for your highest good, excuse me. All right, pile number 3. So I'm wishing you all the best. Good luck. And have fun. Let me know in the comments what you choose to do for self-care, because I'm always looking for new and creative ideas. Because I will, and then also ask me questions too, because I hook you up. Because I used to find all the good coupons too. I ain't even, no judgment. I don't even give a fuck. It was worth it. I had a good ass time too. But anyway, pile number 3. I'm wishing you all the best. Sending you love. And I have absolute faith that you're going to be able to move mountains and do wonders. Alright? So, mwah. Pile number 3.